Now let's go ahead and create a grant. You can create a grant in several ways. You can do this from the dashboard, you can do this from the top menu, or you can do this from the grants page or any other page. So let's just create one from the dashboard. We're going to click New Grant, and we're going to give this a title and say Technology Access for Small Schools. Now, if you're just getting started, you probably don't have a funder in here just yet. So you'll just click on Funder, click New, and you'll enter in the funder. So we'll just say the LEAP Foundation, and we'll call it a private foundation. Go ahead and click Create. Now we're back on the grant. So let's go ahead and add the status. We'll say that it's upcoming. The due date is in a couple of months, and then the amount requested. So here you can just enter in maybe an expected amount that you're going to request, and you can always change this later. You can add a program, so what the grant funds are going to be used for. Let's just go ahead and choose the Youth Education Initiative. And then you can add a client if you're a consultant, or any notes. Now you can go ahead and click Create. Okay, now we're in the grant record. So on the grant record, you have this overview of the information on your grant. You can see our due date, the status, the amount requested, and then hopefully once you receive the grant, you'll be able to see that here as well. You can edit any of these fields by just clicking inside of the field. So maybe the due date, we need to change it to a week later. We can change the requested amount. We can add in some more notes. So maybe something like getting ready for the new grant. And then when we're ready, you can change the status to submitted when you've sent the grant, what date you sent that on. So we'll just say that we sent it on the 12th. And you can add any information about the start dates of the project, the users. So by default, the user who creates the record will be the one to be the user on the grant or grant reporter task. You can change this very easily to someone else. And if you want multiple people to be able to work on a grant together, you can also add collaborators. Once you tag a collaborator, they will see this grant deadline on their user dashboard. They'll see it in their deadlines, and they'll also get those email reminders as well. So it's a great way for multiple people to be involved on a grant. Now, inside of the grant, you can also add any grant reports in this menu here. You can add your task or documents all in one place. So if you have an upcoming grant report, you can click Add Report, and you'll be able to add this grant report. You can change the title of it if you would like. Go ahead and put in the status and the due date so that you're getting reminders 8 to 10 months from now when the grant report is actually due. We'll click Create. We can now see this grant report. If you have a grant that needs to have multiple grant reports, you can add that here as well, as many as you need. If you're doing quarterly, you can add those here, and you'll get reminders for those grant reports. For any grant, you can add tasks. Now, tasks can be your to-do list, such as get an updated budget, email the program director, or get the new financials. Anything like that you can add as a task in your to-do list. But tasks can also be your outreach and your cultivation. So if on this grant you reached out to the foundation, emailed their program officer, and talked about the grant request itself, you want to add that as a task. You can add a task quickly from here. We'll say that we need to get the new budget. You can add a category of, let's just say it's a general task. The status is that it's in progress. We'll go ahead and add a due date. And if you want, you can add notes. Now on a task, again, it'll default to the user who's creating the task, but you can also tag someone in a task. So if we click another user, what will happen is that he will actually get an email about the task. So it will tell him, hey, Aaron, we need you to get the new budget. What will also happen is he will start getting those reminders on tasks as well. So we'll go ahead and create a task, and now that's related to that grant. So you can really keep a list of everything that's most important for your grants. You can also upload the grant documents. So maybe when you have completed the grant application, you can go ahead and click Add Documents, and you can upload that directly into your grant. You can also drag and drop the document here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I've added the document. I can see it here, and I can quickly reference it. I can see what information I sent with the grant. I can also access it from the documents library, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So that's an overview of grants. Let's look at the grants page. The grants page is going to show you all grants that have not been awarded. We have another page for awarded grants. When you click on the grants in the menu here, you can see all of the grants by status. So what's potential, what's upcoming, what's in progress, what's been submitted. So you can quickly reference and see that information. If we click on one of the grants, we can jump into this grant and see that information just like we looked at. You can see all awarded grants on the awarded grants page. So this is a great way to see what's already been received, what is open, and what you're still working on, what needs grant reports. You can see all of this on the awarded page. We have 3 awarded statuses. It's awarded, which means you have received notification that you will get the grant but don't have the funds yet. You can mark it as awarded received when you have received the funds, or awarded closed once your grant reporting has been completed and you have closed out that grant.